How many times have you seen these 7 days Fiverr challenges here on YouTube, where people actually start from scratch and within 7 days they manage to get 2-3 orders and make around $30 to $50 just like that? You probably watched at least one of these and thought how cool this is and how much money you personally can potentially make with Fiverr. If he or she can create an account and start making money within a week, why don't you do that too and make some money on the side, or maybe turn it into a full-time job and start your online journey, right? Well, unfortunately I have to disappoint you and discourage you a bit, but this is one big lie. This doesn't mean you can't make money on Fiverr, don't get me wrong, but things look a lot different than what you've been taught in these videos. And this is pissing me off a lot, because this is how you, the viewer, get really discouraged and upset about your failure, and you get the feeling that you're a complete loser because you compare your results with the results of others, and the results of others are just not realistic. And even though some of them could be in fact genuine, the chance of getting a few orders within your first 7 days since you created your account and post your first gig is probably below 1%. This is like making a YouTube channel and in 7 days get 1000 subscribers and get monetized, or let's say with your first 2-3 videos or something like that. Yes, there are actually channels that actually did that, but statistically the chance of actually happening to you is just super small. There are more than 50 million active YouTube channels right now, and it's very unlikely to get noticed in the beginning. In terms of Fiverr, there are more than 800,000 sellers right now and around 5.5 million buyers. Fiverr is being around for 12 years now, and so many talented people already got in. Some people worked for years on Fiverr, many people worked for months. They perfected their strategy, their SEO, their title, description, visuals, certificates, got a bunch of reviews, the algorithm recognizes them as trustworthy and efficient, and you come out of nowhere, you know nothing about SEO, or maybe you think you know a bit, your description is average or below average, you're probably not an expert in the field of your offered service, and you are, let's say, just good at it, you don't know how to make a good looking thumbnail and professionally looking video to represent yourself the best possible way, and there's almost 100% chance that your gig will end up far back in the search results among many other sellers without reviews, and barely anyone will go through all these pages so your gig can actually show up to someone. Not to mention that you might get hundreds of impressions and not even get a single click. And this is the reality, but those people on YouTube show you that they managed to get a few orders and make money right off the bat, and now you got the expectations that if you spend some time putting everything together and show the world what you can do for them, you can find success pretty quickly, quit your job, start working from home, and actually do what you love and not what you have to do just to make a living. Set your own working hours, be your own boss and all that. So you create an account, fill in all the essential information, do some research, spend some time making a video where you can show your potential buyers what you can actually do and why they should choose you instead of anyone else on the platform. Create the best possible thumbnail according to your skills. Of course, set your first gig on the lower end or undercut the competition just to make sure you will attract your first customers earlier. And you finally publish your gig. What you know from these videos is that probably the first day or two will have no sales, and on day 3 or 4 your gig starts to pick up some traction and you will make your first sale. So the first 2 days you're not worried about your gig not performing very well and you're generally calm and patient. But days 3 and 4 come and things ain't look much different than the previous days. At this point you probably think that you might haven't done something right, and you start to look for a potential reason why your gig doesn't have not just sales but even clicks yet. You barely get 10 impressions for 4 days and there's no way you can make a sale within a week and even a month. And let me tell you this, you are completely right. You won't make a sale just like that a couple of days after you created your account. These people on YouTube are straight up lying and manipulating their results, at least 99% of them, because I can't claim they're all lying. There might be some early success stories out there that are just an exception. But why am I saying all this and why do I make this video? How am I so confident that making a few sales within your first 7 days is close to impossible and they are manipulating their results, therefore the viewers? Well, since this channel is in the finance niche and I try to cover different ways to make money online, stocks, crypto and all that, back in January this year I decided to make a video about Fiverr and how you can monetize your skills to earn some extra money which you can potentially invest and double or triple them, or just help yourself with the bills, you know, depends on what situation you're in. And I could easily make a video and show you how many people got hundreds of reviews and how many people actively search for different services to outsource for their businesses. So a lot of money to be made, and a lot of people are in fact making that money right now. There is no doubt about it, but I wanted to step further and see how difficult it is to start from scratch and actually get noticed within this highly competitive atmosphere. So I created an account, spent a good amount of time to make the best gig I can possibly make so I have the best chance to see some results, and I can tell you that I got quite a bit of experience with Premiere Pro and Photoshop, and I know a thing or two on how to make a decent thumbnail and grab people's attention. And of course I'm not saying that I make the best thumbnails, but let's position them as above the average. So I definitely put some effort into making this gig, and as far as I remember I spent like a couple of days putting everything together and publishing it. I stayed online every day as much as I can and followed every other good practice that other people suggest following. But as you might have guessed, since I haven't posted any video about Fiverr yet, I haven't made a single sale yet, and it's been more than 6 months now. If someone told me back then that I wouldn't see my first sale after 6 months, I wouldn't believe, honestly. This is such a long time, and I'm not talking about getting rich from Fiverr or making a living after 6 months of being a freelancer. I talk about getting my first sale. You know, just one sale. Well, to be completely honest, I found a couple of issues that I made back then, which I fixed only last month, and I'll make a separate video about that because I watched so many videos about Fiverr here on YouTube, and I haven't seen anyone to talk about this stuff whatsoever. So I think this will be a very valuable video for anyone who would want to start making money on Fiverr and has issues to rank their gig. But anyway, it's been more than 2 weeks now since I fixed my Fiverr gig, and I still haven't made my first order, considering that at this point my account is not brand new, and also Fiverr sees that I make changes, so I put in the effort to improve my listing, and this should give me an edge over many other sellers that also haven't made their first order yet. And I also want to point out that the service I provide is video editing, and in almost all cases they do this challenge with the same service, as this is something they already do for their channel. It's well paid, the competition is relatively good, and it makes sense most of them to offer this service as they got the skills. So what I'm trying to say is that my example is not completely different, so you can come out and say that there is much lower demand for my service and the comparison is irrelevant or something like that. I got pissed off because this is probably as close as you can get to what they show in their videos, and apparently they fake their results, probably for the sake of making interesting content or just to make themselves look much smarter and that they can find success with anything they touch. Unfortunately, this way they harm the general viewer who actually trusts them and decides to try it out because everybody wants to escape the rat race, right? But when they don't get even close to these results, that's where people get upset and start to think that they don't have that X factor or whatever so they can be successful in life, and usually they just give up. So my general idea was to create an account on Fiverr, follow every tips and tricks that I can find on the internet so I don't start like a complete amateur, document all my mistakes so I can tell you what you shouldn't do and you have the best start possible, find what actually works and not what some random people are saying that works, set realistic expectations on how long it's going to take to see your first order on average based on my own experience and things that I learned, how long it's going to take until you see consistent orders so you can potentially turn Fiverr into a full-time job, and how much you should expect to make for a month. I really wanted to make that video for you, and I truly believe it will provide such priceless information for many of you out there who want to start their freelancer journey. And I didn't give up on that idea, I just didn't want it to make it public until I have all the answers and actually provide all the value to you. But I thought I should definitely make this video now and help as many people as I can by not stressing out because of the unrealistic expectations that have been set from those videos. So if you leave a comment and give a gentle tap to the like button, this will push the video to more people and spread the word. You can also subscribe to my channel if you don't want to miss the valuable gem I will drop about ranking your Fiverr gig and making money. But until this video is ready, there will be a lot more interesting stuff coming up as well, so you might not want to miss them as well.